Step into the extravagant lifestyle of Diana Ross, the legendary Motown diva and music icon, as we celebrate her remarkable life at age 80. In this video, we explore her 5 children, her impressive net worth, stunning houses, and luxurious car collection. Discover her hobbies, passions, and the secrets to her enduring success. Don't miss this exclusive look at the life of one of the most influential artists in music history. Diana Ross is an American singer and actress. Known as the Queen of Motown Records, she was the lead singer of the vocal group The Supremes, who became Motown's most successful act during the 1960s and one of the world's best-selling girl groups of all time. Born March 26, 1944, age 80 years, Detroit, Michigan, United States. Children: Tracy Ellis Ross, Evan Ross, Rhonda Ross Kendrick, Chudney Ross, Ross Ness. Music group: The Supremes since 1961. Spouse: R. Ness, Jr., M. 1985 to 2000. Robert Ellis Silberstein, M. 1971 to 1977. Diana Ross net worth $250 million. Early life. Diana Ross was born in Detroit on March 26, 1944. She was the second of 6 children born to Ernestine, née Moten, January 27, 1916 to October 9, 1984, and Fred Ross Sr., July 4, 1920 to November 21, 2007. Her mother named her Diane, but the birth certificate was mistakenly filled out with the name Diana. Her family and Detroit friends called her Diane all her life. Ross grew up with 2 sisters, Barbara and Rita, and 3 brothers, Arthur, Fred Jr., and Wilbert, also known as Chico. Ross was raised Baptist. Ross and her family originally resided at 635 Belmont Street, in the North End section of Detroit, near Highland Park, Michigan, where her neighbor was Smokey Robinson. When Ross was 7, her mother contracted tuberculosis, causing her to become seriously ill. Ross's parents sent their children to live with Ernestine's parents, the Reverend, pastor of Bessemer Baptist Church, and Mrs. William Motown in Bessemer, Alabama. After her mother recovered, she and her siblings returned to Detroit. On her 14th birthday, in 1958, her family relocated to the working-class Brewster Douglas housing projects, settling at St. Antoine Street. Ross attended Cass Technical High School, a 4-year college and preparatory magnet school, in downtown Detroit, and, aspiring to become a fashion designer, she took classes in clothing design, millinery, pattern making, and tailoring. In the evenings and on weekends she also took modeling and cosmetology classes. Ross has written that Robinson loaned her the funds required to attend these, and participated in several of the school's extracurricular activities, including its swim team. In 1960, Hudson's downtown Detroit store hired Ross as its first African-American bus girl. For extra income, she also provided hairdressing services to her neighbors. Ross graduated from Cass Tech in January 1962. Career: 1959 to 1970. The Supremes. When she was 15, Ross joined the Primettes, the sister group to a male vocal group called the Primes, after she had been brought to the attention of music manager Milton Jenkins by Primes member Paul Williams. Among the other members of the Primettes were Florence Ballard, the first group member hired by Jenkins, Mary Wilson, and Betty McGlown, Williams' girlfriend. After the Primettes won a talent competition in 1960 in Windsor, Ontario, A&R executive and songwriter Robert Bateman invited them to audition for Motown Records. Later, following the success of her live performances at Sock Hops and similar events, Ross approached William Smokey Robinson, her former neighbor, about auditioning for Motown. He insisted that the group audition for him first. Robinson then agreed to bring the Primettes to Motown, on condition that they allow him and his group, the Miracles, to hire the Primettes guitarist Marv Tarplin, who had been discovered by Ross, for an upcoming tour. Tarplin ended up playing in Robinson's bands for the next 30-plus years. In her autobiography, Secrets of a Sparrow, Ross wrote that she felt that this had been a fair trade. The Primettes later auditioned for Motown before various Motown executives. In Berry Gordy's autobiography, To Be Loved, Gordy recalled that he had been heading to a business meeting when he happened to hear Ross singing, "There goes my baby." And that Ross's voice stopped me in my tracks. He approached the group and asked them to perform it again, but, after learning how young they were, Gordy advised them to finish high school before trying to get signed by Motown. Personal life, relationships, and family. Ross has been married twice and has 5 children. Ross became romantically involved with Motown CEO Berry Gordy in 1965. The relationship lasted several years, resulting in the birth of Ross's eldest child, Rhonda Suzanne Silberstein, in August 1971. 2 months into her pregnancy with Rhonda, in January 1971, Ross married music executive Robert Ellis Silberstein, who raised Rhonda as his own daughter, despite knowing her true paternity. Ross told Rhonda that Gordy was her biological father when Rhonda was 13 years old. Beforehand, Rhonda referred to Gordy as Uncle BB. Ross has 2 daughters with Silberstein, Tracy Joy Silberstein, Tracy Ellis Ross, and Chudney Lane Silberstein, born in 1972 and 1975, respectively. Ross and Silberstein divorced in 1977. In 2023, Smokey Robinson said in an interview that he and Ross had an affair lasting approximately 1 year while Robinson was married to his first wife, Claudette. According to Robinson, Ross ended the affair as Robinson admitted to still being in love with Claudette, a friend of Ross's. When asked about Robinson's story, Ross's representative had no comment. Ross dated Gene Simmons, bassist and co-lead singer for the band Kiss, from 1980 to 1983. Ross met her second husband, Norwegian shipping magnate Arne Næss Jr., in 1985 and married him the following year. She became stepmother to his 3 elder children, Katinka, Christopher, and folk singer Leona Ness. They have 2 sons together, Ross Arne, born in 1987, and Evan Olav, born in 1988. Ross and Næss divorced in 2000, after press reports revealed that Næss had fathered a child with another woman in Norway. Ross considers Næss the love of her life. Næss fell to his death in a South African mountain climbing accident in 2004. Ross remains close with her 3 ex-stepchildren. Ross has 7 grandchildren, grandson Rafe Hennick, born in 2009 to her daughter Rhonda, grandsons Leaf, born on June 5, 2016, and Indigo, born 2017, born to her son Ross Næss, granddaughters Callaway Lane, born in 2012, and Everly, born October 2019, born to Ross's daughter Chudney, granddaughter Jagger Snow, born in 2015, and grandson Ziggy, born in 2020, to her son Evan.